Right. Now the knowledge is on the demon idea. Further the demonization idea, right? So demonization, right, is basically where they're making someone responsible, right, for blaming somebody and making someone responsible for something which is either real or sort of made up, right? But it's making someone take the blame, and they're pointing the finger of blame and making someone sort of feel responsible, right? That's demonization, right? So, so you've got the ideas of the demons, right, within the culture and all that, right? We know what them, always seen them. So you've got the Baphomet and the Mulek and all that stuff, right, which is the demons, right? Then you've got the King James Bible, right? And you've got, supposedly anyway, after the King James Bible, then you've got the Demonology book, which was written by the King James and that, apparently attributable to King James anyway, right? So you've got the idea of the demonization idea, right? Basically stemming back to the same source, right? So you can see, like, this is obviously the origins of the whole carry on, like, you see what I mean? So, so when you demonize someone, okay, you point the finger and you make them feel the blame and you make them feel responsible. So it's like a guilt trip idea, you see, guilt trip. And interestingly, guilt is like gilt edged, and that's like gold, see? It's like gold. So when you make someone like feel the guilt in that, right? And you find people guilty in the court stuff like that, you see what I mean? Guilt. They're like gold. So if you look at the way that the system works, right, it is present day, right? Like fast forward from 1600s or whatever to the present day system, right? You see the same type of workings. So you've got the idea of the charity stuff and all that, right? The starving babies in Africa, and people haven't got enough to eat. They've got dirty water. It's your fault. You know what I mean? It's your fault. Oh, but I've never been to Africa. Yeah, doesn't matter. It's your fault. See what I mean? It's your fault that these people haven't got clean water to drink, and you can sit in a house, and get water out of a tap, so that makes you guilty. See what I mean? That's the way it works. And then same with like donkeys or whatever, whatever they can throw at you, it's your fault. See what I mean? So this is like the demonization. See, this is the process of demonization, right? Hence all the little drawings of these, monsters and all that. You see what I'm saying? And the idea of the monster is like the similar to the mint. It's like the mind, something to sort of overcome in the mind. See what I mean? So to create the illustrations, because it's an iconography. Like Jesus is an icon, right? And to stick this icon can get into your brain idea, right? So it embodies the whole process. See, in like a little drawing. See what I mean? An illustration, metaphorical. See, like Baphomet embodies, encapsulates the whole system in this little picture of this, horned goat or whatever. You know what I mean? So it's like that's the demonization. So when you have the demonization, right, it's similar to the process of con artistry, right? So you have the con artistry type of thing, like they say the sting, stuff like that, right? So when you have the con artistry, you have a mark, right? You have a target, okay? You have you mark, a target. There's other names as well, and they become the target for the sting, right? So the same as the demonization, you have the target, see, and they become the mark for the demonization. So in this case, we're talking about the natural person, right? They become the target for the sting, right? And obviously, you've got things like Master Masons, and so you can see what all that's about. See what I mean? Mark Sergeant and all. You see what I mean? You can see what's going on. So that the point the finger, you see, the finger of blame, like the idea of the hand of God, see, the hand of God, see, and the finger of blame. You see what I mean? So you can point the finger, and that's the workings of the system. So interestingly, the demonology idea of the King James Bible, say, is the idea of the demonology is spelled with the AE, right? Which I've done in a previous video about. It comes from the Danish alphabet and relate to 7 and, as always, and T. See what I mean? So it's the same thing. And demonology, right? The idea of the logi on the end, right, is like logic. See, demonology. So it's like a sort of the logic behind the demonization. See, it's like a logical process, like a thought process, say, mental processes and all that. So it's all about getting into the mind of the target, of the perceived mark, the victim, see, and getting into the brain, right? So when you've got, like, say, for example, you've got a school system, right? You've got a school system, right? You put a kid into the school system about 5, right? If you participate with them, and not most do. So the kid goes into the school system at 5 years up, he's 5 years of age. Apologies for the sore throat, like. Right, so the kid goes in, one of the first things they hit the kid with, right, in this system, is the idea of, like, Jesus died on a cross for your sins, right? And that's basically one of the first things you're going to get, because they're doing the nativity plays at that early age. This nativity plays, right, and introduce these ideas bang at that early age, because, and most people, you forget about it, you forget about it later on. But this is what they hit you with at that early age, and that's this nativity play. The whole purpose of that nativity play, dressing the kids up in tea towels and all that, and acting out this stable scene or whatever, is all part of this brainwashing system. See, so they're hitting you with that guilt trip, right? A little mental trip for you and all that, right? Early on, and of course, you're a kid. You know what I mean? You're a young child, and that's like, well, I've done these sins. You know what I mean? I just like to play with my toys. You know what I mean? It's like you're responsible for Jesus' death. He died on a cross for your sins, right? And of course, the other idea at this point, right, is this idea of original sin, right? Which is supposed to be the you were born in original sin, apparently, in all this, right? So straight away, you're guilty. You've done something wrong. See, just by the act of your own existence, you've done something wrong already. You're only, what, 5 years old here? You see what I mean? You're totally blamed. See, that's the way they work this system. Yeah. Then, like I say, you might forget about this stuff, right? Because the mind has a way of, like, blotting stuff out and then just going on. You see what I mean? But they'll hit you with it. They've put it in there, right? See, that's the way it works. They've put it into your brain at this age, and it's there at the back of your mind and that. See, so already, just starting out, and you're already guilty as sin, as the saying goes. See what I mean? You've done naught. You're just an innocent kid. And of course, that brings to the idea of the innocent lambs to the slaughter idea. You see, innocent lambs to the slaughter, and it's totally linked. It's like the dualistic thing. These people know at the higher levels, and that these people know exactly what that's about. So you've got these two ideas. See, first of all, you're guilty as sin. Second of all, you're an innocent lamb to the slaughter. See, so they basically hit you from all angles and that. no more than a little child. See what I mean? So then when you grew up and that, right? And like I say, the present day stuff, they're hitting you with charity ideas all the time. See what I mean? Try to make you feel guilty. It's your fault. This, that, and the other. It's all your fault. See what I mean? And that's the way it works. So it's like the demonization idea, right? It accounts for the presence of the demons in the sort of, you know, the culture and the iconography stuff. So it's like again the dualistic thing where you got your religious holy stuff, right? Your Jesus and your John the Baptist and your Abraham, whatever. And then the other side you've got these, you know, Baphomet and Satan and the good of Mendes and all this type of garbage. You see what I'm saying? So it's all part of this system, see? The demonization idea, where they demonize you, see? And of course, you know, horror films and all that, see, is absolutely, you know, like a reinforcement of this stuff. See what I'm saying? If you've had these sort of like little things implanted into your mind at this early age, right? It just click, click, click. It just turns the cogs, see, and it's all like subliminal. See what I'm saying? So you know, you see that the horror images and all that, right? These horror movies and that, like Count Dracula or something like that, and it just clicks into place all the previous stuff. You see what I mean? It just goes round the circle, which is exactly what it's meant to do. Now, see, and that's what the idea of the demonization. See, demons.